Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming a 3 demo look on the Jaclyn Hill palette in collaboration with Morphe. So I've actually already done a full-on review and demo on this palette back when it first launched in July last year. If you guys want to see that original video, I will link it down below. Don't judge me on my brows. I used to do my brows so thick back then. I've kind of learned to make them a little bit thinner. But ever since I started doing this whole 3 demo 1 palette series on my channel, I know you guys love it, I love it. I wanted to go back to this palette and film another 3 looks with this. There's just so many looks you could create, and I was so pumped to go back to this palette and create 3 more looks with you guys. And I really do hope you guys will enjoy the 3 looks because I put a lot of planning into it, making sure that all of the colors and color combinations was different from what I usually do. Since this palette is such a big palette, I have more of a range. I can create more in-depth looks with this palette, and I try to stick to more of, you know, these shades here, where it's shades that you typically wouldn't wear every day. I also quickly wanted to say thank you guys so much for voting for me for the NYX Professional Makeup Face Awards for New Zealand. But because of you guys voting every single day and telling me that you had my back, it paid off. We got to the top 15 and I'm seriously so excited, and I just wanted to say thank you in camera. I already made a post about it, but I feel like I can't say thank you enough. I'm so grateful. Like, I wouldn't be able to get to top 15 if it wasn't for you guys voting for me every day, having my back, and I just love you guys and I want to thank you guys so much. But I don't want to talk about it too much in this video because we are just focusing on this palette, but I just want to quickly say in person, well in video, to you guys that I am so grateful and I'm just so happy that I have you guys with me on this journey. You guys are the freaking best, and I just want to thank you guys for helping me out with the voting. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. I love you guys. But before we get into all 3 looks, I just want to quickly tell you guys my opinion on this palette just in case you haven't seen that original video. And now that I've used this palette for like almost 1 year, I have a very strong opinion about this palette. I'm also going to go through all of my videos ever since my original review on this palette and link all the videos that I've done with this palette, whether it was this palette alone or whether it was in conjunction with other palettes. I'll list it down below. I've used this for my Mother Nature look. I used it for my Kaneki look. So it's perfect for like everyday looks and also cosplay, Halloween. Like, this is just like my holy grail palette. If any of you guys watched my original video, you would know how much I paid for this palette. I paid about 100 New Zealand dollars, which is about 70 to 80 US dollars. I did pay a lot for this palette because Morphe shipping internationally is really expensive, but in my personal opinion, this is probably my best makeup investment that I've ever purchased. This is $100 well spent. Any of you guys are on the fence that live internationally, like it's so expensive. I personally think it's worth every single dollar. Like, I seriously do. The amount of looks you get out of this and the formula is just so amazing. The mattes, the darks, the shimmers, just everything is just so good. I can't rave about it enough. And whether you like Jaclyn or not, like, just take her name away from it, this is a good palette. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Like, it is an amazing palette. I spent a lot of money on it, but it's definitely worth it. I love it so much. One of my favorite palettes. So yeah, if you guys haven't got it yet, I highly recommend that you do. So yeah, without me rambling on too much, you guys get the gist of my feelings towards this palette. If you guys want to see the 3 looks that I created with this one big palette, then just continue watching. I'm first taking the shade Creamsicle, and this is going to be our transition shade. I'm popping this straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions. Next, I'm going to take the shade Hunt. I'm going to place most of the shadow all over my lid first and then slowly blend it up towards the transition shade. And of course, just going back in with my first brush just to do any further blending. Then I'll be taking the shade Chip, and this is going into the outer corner of my eye and also the inner corner of my eye, leaving the middle part of my lid blank. And we're also going to connect the outer corner and the inner corner in the crease, but leaving the middle of my lid space blank because we are going to cut the crease and we're going to place a shimmer shadow right on top afterwards. And here we are, just cutting my crease. I'm gonna first place the concealer all over my lid. I am doing a halo cut crease, so that's why I'm putting the concealer right in the middle. I'm going to take the concealer just a little bit above my natural crease, and then I'm gonna take a small definer brush just to get the really sharp crease line. Using the shade in Light, this is going right on top of that concealer. I did not set the concealer. I don't usually set my concealer when I do these cut creases, just because the concealer is a little bit more tacky and whatever you place on top will grab onto it a lot easier. So I'm just taking my time with this, making sure I don't go past the crease line that I created with the concealer. And then we'll be using the shade Royalty, and we're going to use this shade to blend in Light into the shade Chip, making sure that everything is just a full-on gradient, that there are no harsh lines between the two. I like to swipe and also pat on the pigment, that way everything looks nicely blended. Going back in with the shade Hunt, this is going on my lower lash line from inner to outer corner, just really smoking this shadow out. And then back again with Chip, this is just going right under my lower lash line just to define that lower lash line a little bit more. Quickly using the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Swerve, I'm going to use this to tightline my lower lash line. And again, just back in with the shade in Light, I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone and also the inner corners of my eyes. And this is the completed look for look number 1. For lashes, I am wearing the Serene Light from House of Lashes, and for my lip color, it is Appy Luxe Lipstick from Colourpop Cosmetics. For look number 2, I'm going to take the shade Creamsicle once again as our transition shade, just putting that straight into our crease using windshield wiping motions. And then using the shade Roxanne, this is going into the outer corner of our eyes. I'm first just dabbing the shadow on, and then to further blend it out, I'm going to use more windshield circular motions. And what is ever left on my brush, I just like to take that into the inner part of my crease. Then I'll be taking the shade Central Park, and I'm going to use this shade to define the outer corner a little bit more. I'm just taking a smaller brush and just focusing this right on the outer part of my lash line. Then I'll be taking the shade SBN, and this is going into the inner part of my eye. SBN stands for smoky but natural, and I get what this means because this is just like the perfect inner corner shade. It's not too glam, but it's not too natural. It's just like the perfect metallic champagne color. Going back in with Roxanne, I'm placing this all over my lower lash line, just from inner to outer corner, really smoking this out because we are going to be placing a blue on top and we just want to create that base. And taking Central Park, this is going right underneath my lower lash line. This shade is going to be more of the base for the blue. And now I'll be using the shade Twerk, which is the metallic blue, and this is going right on top of the base shadows that we just placed down on our lower lash line. Again, I'm using the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Swerve to tightline my bottom waterline. And this is look 2 completed. For lashes, I am wearing the iconic Lite from House of Lashes, and for my lip color, it is the Sigma Liquid Lipstick in the shade New Mod. And for look number 3, I'm taking the shade Butter, and this is going to be our transition shade. Again, it's the same technique where I'm just putting it straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions. Then I'll be taking the shade Mocha, and this is going into the outer corner of our eyes. I'm again just stamping on the pigment first and then just blending it towards the transition shade. I like to really bring it out, make it more into like a cat eye shape. That's just the kind of shape that I like to keep my eyeshadows. I feel like it just elongates my eyes. And now we'll be using the shade Enchanted, and this again is going into the outer V of our eyes, but I'm focusing it in a smaller area, kind of just mainly on my lid space, not really bringing it up towards the crease. And then taking the black in the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use this in the outer corner once again just to deepen things up. I'm kind of just dragging it in a straight line where my lash line is. And now we will be cutting the crease. Again, it's very similar to demo 1 where I just place the concealer a little bit above my crease. Take a thinner brush just to define that crease line a little bit more. Now we will be taking the shade Pool Party, and this is going right on top of the concealer, just in the middle part of the cut crease though. I'm gonna leave the inner part blank because we're gonna use a different color later, but you can just see how beautiful this shade is. I think it's just the most beautiful shade in this whole palette. Is definitely a standout. Then we will be using the shade Beam, and this is going into the inner part of our cut crease, meshing it into the shade Pool Party, and these two shades just mesh so well together. They blend seamlessly together, and this just makes the perfect blue cut crease ever. I'm so obsessed with how this turned out. Now I'm taking the shade Jade, and I'm just going to use this shade to blend Pool Party and Enchanted together. This is the perfect shade to blend these two colors together, creating the perfect gradient. There are no harsh lines when you do this. This is a very important step. On a very small pointer brush, I'm just going to take the shade Mocha and just go above that crease line just to define everything a little bit more. Using the shade Butter, I'm going to smoke this out on my lower lash line from outer to inner corner. Then I'll be using Enchanted just to deepen up the lower lash line a little bit more. And to finish off the look, I'll be using the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in Fast Lane to tightline my bottom waterline. And this is the final and completed look. For lashes, I am wearing the Serene Lite from House of Lashes. And for my lip color, it is the Foolish Luxe Lipstick by Colourpop Cosmetics. And that, guys, is going to wrap up my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 looks. Be sure to let me know which look out of the 3 was your favorite down below. If you did enjoy this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. It would help me out so much. But that is everything for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!